All right, this is part two of the syllabus overview. I think I ended the last video by saying that there's two main ideas about the class. One is there's going to be a certain amount of flipped content, and the second idea is that I'm going to approach the class from a mastery standpoint. All right, so I'm going to talk about the mastery standpoint here. I've got several assignments, and I think all of them have a mastery component to them. The first is that obviously I'm going to have something called mastery quizzes. I've got 8 quizzes created that get at very basic concepts that are fundamental to other things that you're going to do in the class. You're going to write a literature review, you're going to analyze literature, you're going to critique it, but you can't really do that unless you have some of these fundamental concepts down. So I'm going to have quizzes. They're probably going to be about 8 questions long. I'm not going to calculate points and average points. Instead, what I'm going to do is expect you to achieve mastery on the quizzes. Each quiz will have the first quiz and then a retake. Everybody's going to do the retake 1 week later after the first quiz, even if you pass the first time. And that way, everybody will be on the same footing when I do a retake. And also, it'll be a good opportunity, even if the whole class passes the quiz on the first try, it'll be a good chance to cement in this knowledge, because that's what I really care about here. So my expectation is really that everybody will pass all the quizzes by the end of the course using the extra retake if necessary. I do build it into the grading of the class and did it in kind of a unique way. I hope it makes sense, at least by the end of the class, how this works out. There's kind of a little incentive here if you do really, really great. I'm not expecting a lot of people to get this, but the incentive is if you do get mastery on all of them and you only need 1 retake all semester long, I'm going to increase your grade from whatever you would earn otherwise half a step, like from an A- to an A. Where I expect almost everybody to be in this grading system is you will master all of the quizzes, including the retakes on as many of these as you need. Only 1 retake per quiz, and then whatever you get on everything else, that's going to be your grade. If you you are allowed to even not pass all the quizzes. You can miss one of them even with the retake. Um, and by the way, if you're absent on either the quiz or the retake, I'm not going to do it again. So you're allowed to, even though attendance is required in every class, there might be a reason why you're sick or something and you miss a quiz. But you're allowed to have one that you don't pass and still your grade's unaffected. If you are unable to pass 2, even with retakes, your grade will be lowered half a step, like from an A- to a B+. If you don't pass 3 or more, your grade will be lowered 2.5 steps. Right? But I'm really expecting what's going to happen is everybody's going to pass these quizzes, including with a retake. I'm going to target the concepts on these quizzes the week before the quiz, do a little review before the quiz, have some more instruction on the second time, and I'm going to ask fairly straightforward questions. My purpose is not really for anybody to not pass. My purpose is for everybody to pass, and that we can use some of these basic concepts for some of the more analytical, critical thinking work we're going to do in the class. All right. The second way in which I'm going to do mastery learning is through something I'm doing called critical analysis papers. These are going to be very short papers, at most 2 pages long. We're going to critically analyze the research methods in primary source articles. You're not going to describe the articles. You're going to give me a reference that I can look up to read the article myself, and you're just going to simply critique the article. We're going to do this 3 times. The first, it's a 10-point scale I've got in it. The first time you do it, I'm going to give you 2 free points, which basically, according to my grading scale, means you can do a pretty mediocre job the first time around and still get full credit. And we'll use that kind of like as practice and get feedback. And then the second time you get 1 free point, and the third time no free points. I expect by the 3rd time you do this, everybody will be knocking it out of the park. All right. There's a participation grade, and I'm going to give out the points in 5-point increments at different points in the semester. Not going to wait until the end to give you all or whatever the points. So there won't be any surprises there. My experience is people get all the participation points. Graduate students really usually go above and beyond. So that hopefully will be 25 points that everybody will earn. That will be based on in-class participation and on fulfilling whatever it is in D2L. All right, then the big project in the class is a group literature review. And I will also consider this mastery because we're going to work on it at different stages almost every week of the semester. It is going to be a group project. However, the grading is broken down into two parts. One part based on individual contributions, and really, if you're getting all the points for your individual contributions and everybody in the group is, you're going to have a lot of stuff as a group to work together with. So really, there's quite a bit of individual accountability in the grade, even though it's a group project. And then the group portion of the assignment, which will be graded as a group. But because we're going sometimes people are worried about depending on other people or making arrangements, we're not really going to have to do that because we're going to use some class time to do that. All right. And then there's a couple other things with the group project, like you're going to present it as a group, and something else I'll explain. So that's basically the assignments of the class.